So the voices in my head are pretending to be my neighbors arguing. Typically when I'm home, it's a man and a woman arguing. I'm trying to pick up on the patterns of their attacks because it's all scripted. So if I'm out, it's like, oh, look at you ugly piece of crap. When I'm at the gym, it's like, okay, I gotta run. Okay. And it's like, if I gotta go to work and I'm getting ready, it's like, get to work, screaming, get to work, like they're trying to shove it down my throat. So I'm like less, like, you know, when you wake up and you're like, yeah, it's gonna be a great productive day, and you're ready to go. Well, you know, it's to destroy that enthusiasm like first thing in the morning, and it's them screaming at each other to get to work. Like that's their way of pep talking each other to abuse me and torture me in my head. Because I guess, I mean, I don't even know, honestly. They can't talk in your head. I don't even, because they're still trying to pretend like they're outside. What else have they done? They'll say like, get to work, you fuck, like, not even you bitch, but get to work, Renee, get to work. You're moving so slow. Like, and it's like force feeding, or okay, it's 4 o'clock. Run, get your daughter, while I'm at work, and they'll start like 2 hours before it's time for me to leave for work, leave to go pick up my daughter. And it's like, go get your daughter, go get your fucking daughter, stupid bitch. And it's just in my head. So whenever they're that blatantly obvious, there are no cameras around. I don't know, do they say my daughter's name? They don't ever say my daughter's name. Not until recent. Well, no, when I'm at home, they don't say my daughter's name. No, when I'm at home, I'm sorry, they do. When I go out, I don't think they do say my daughter's name. So it's like things that are, they try to be, they try to like, so it's like they're disguising it. So if they're outside and it's obvious people I don't know, it's as if it's someone in my surroundings talking to someone else, but it's a direct attack on me. And it's like, go pick up your daughter. So it almost sounds like it's outside, 2 people arguing together. You know what? I'm going to start really listening now. Anyways, there's an absolute script. That's the bottom line. And initially the script is, okay, we'll instill fear. You know, the cops are going to take your daughter. Haha, they're going to institutionalize you. Haha, they're going to, you know, you're ugly, so that you want to like get dressed up. And then when you get dressed up, they just like, for me, it was like they started making my hair fall out. They started to make me age. They made my face swell. They would change the color of my eyes. They would stop my processes, so I'm not processing anything. Yada yada yada. Anyways, I want to get into this. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna stop here because I'm not really making all that much sense because he's playing with my head so drastically that I can't get my thoughts together. So I'll prepare something and then I'll just read it because I've done it a million times, and it clarifies things and it kind of puts things in order, and it allows me to think about it. Because under these circumstances, I have to really put more thought into what I'm saying than I used to, because my mind is so everything's so jumbled. So I'm gonna put this down, and if in fact you hear anything, let me know. Typically, it's a violent nature, or it's or they're being belligerent and just disgusting. They're terrorists talking in my head. They're Egyptian American Muslims. Not all of them. They're just a select few that are part of a bigger terrorist organization. And they're screaming in my head constantly, every second of the fucking day. I want them sentenced to death. He's playing with my. It's not him. It's the women. Like he'll put one of the women that is a part of this terrorist, whatever, his sister, it's his sister, or his brother, or his friend, their friends, sisters, or whoever, and they, I don't know, they're dating, who cares, whatever. He'll place her on his lap or on the desk, and that bitch will sit there and abuse me, and I can see, like, inside my head, I can see the women, you know, around the table where the laptop sits, and I can see them like hitting keys, and when they hit the keys, I can feel the attacks. Like right now, they're suffocating me. I want them to die, but in front of everyone. I want to, in front of everyone, sentence them to death. To be completely honest, and I don't fucking care who knows it. Nobody finds it funny. That's why we want to sentence you bitches to death. Them to blow your fucking brains out, faggot. Okay, bitch. Alexa, set alarm, or Alexa, set timer for, Alexa, remind me in 1 hour to send Amparo her money.
Okay, I'll remind you in 1 hour.
Alexa, remind me in 1 hour to pay Amparo.
Okay, I'll remind you in 1 hour. This is a reminder to drink water.
I'm so fucking done talking to fucking bitch. Yeah, I know. For a good drink. Thanks. Hi, baby. She's in here. You think that's so much better than Batman? And how you guys? That's how you feel. Oh, what? Is that what you think? The terrorists talking in my head are Egyptian American Muslims. They are women and men that speak Arabic and English fluently. They sound like they are California raised, possibly born and raised. I'm posting this on YouTube. They're hoping to get kicked off. And what else? They don't want me making it obvious. I'll make different accounts. The terrorists in my head are psycho trash. They're suffocating me. They're playing with my face. They're playing with my circulation. They dehydrate me. They're screaming in my head right now. They keep saying they've murdered kids. They've murdered kids. Hit them with cars. They've ran them over with trains. They said that they hit them over the head with bats. That they shot them. They have said that they raped them and drugged them to death. They have said they have hung them. They're terrorists in my head, dude. I want them sentenced to fucking death. Every time I say that, the women in my head say, fuck you. The women talking in my head. Not to mention that these fucking whorebags keep saying they're gonna torture my daughter using this telepathy technology. or whatever telepathy technology they're using on me. They keep saying it's not a fucking joke. As if the people crying over their lost kids think it's a joke. These bitches are fucking trash. I have never wanted anything more. I'm posting. I don't care what I look like. They're like, haha, you're dorky. What they're saying, translation, you look super fucking abused. And you're gonna fucking die. That's what they keep saying. We aged you. That's what they're saying in my head. We'll see how dumb I am too. The intellects who clearly value their intellect based on how it saved them from you bitches. They keep saying they're giving me brain damage. I want them sentenced. I want them sentenced to death today. I bawled my eyes out. I text 988 and I was crying because I was telling them that the voices in my head keep saying, "Go die, you fucking worthless bitch. Haha, your kids are being dragged through the mud and nobody in our house, okay, gives a shit about you." I live in a condominium or apartments. Prior to that, I was living at my mom's house, but I didn't hear them then. What was I saying? Anyways, I was saying they're in my head and they're not smart enough to hack into someone's head without my daughter's laughing. She likes her too. I'm so happy. I hope they make progress. He's not going anywhere. I fought so hard. I've been fighting so hard for my kids. And it's like it's a never-win battle because they can control your minds with this telepathy technology. And anyways, so I was crying my eyes out and I was telling the counselor, they're saying that they're gonna murder me using this telepathy, and whether I might have a heart attack, I might get stabbed to death, who knows. And they can't, well, no, what they said was go kill yourself, you stupid bitch. They're trying to force me into committing suicide, so they make me miserable, and they're trying to separate me and my daughter by making me miserable, so none of my kids want to be around me ever. I'm done. I don't play music anymore. I don't watch movies because I can't anyway. I can't hear the TV. I can't watch a movie and then get in a conversation to discuss it with someone because I can't hear it, and on top of the fact that I can't remember because they're playing with my fucking brain activity. So they make my kids don't want to spend time with me. They make me feel miserable. They want to isolate me so damn bad. I want to watch them fucking die. That's them. They're playing with and I don't care. I'm posting it. None of that shit works anymore. They're gonna ask, well, why didn't you come forward with the records, you psycho bitches? Talking in the mirror, and I do it often because they can see me through my eyes. The bitch talking in my head. Anyways, what was I saying? So they make me miserable, so nobody wants to spend time with me and occupied with nothing. Like, go fucking kill yourself, you stupid bitch. That's all they're saying. They're trying to force suicide on me. And then turn around and say, oh, it must have been those external voices that she was hearing. We need to further investigate. And then to name my kids as witnesses and victims, as if, get the fuck out of here. I want those bitches to die so fucking badly. It's not even funny. They're terrorists. They're talking in my fucking head. They're Egyptian American Muslim women and their fucking families. The women, man, I fucking hate them with a fucking passion. They're so fucking trashy. I want them sentenced to fucking death on everything I love. If they get if once the government has their hands on the records, on these records of them investigating me, which they will, and I'm not really significant in regards to them. The only reason why they have an interest is because I'm Egyptian, and being that I'm Christian, and there are laws relating to who you can investigate and as to why, and if I mean, there has to be some valid justification. So we're Egyptian Americans, first and second generation, and our families were refugees coming from Egypt because of the persecutions to Christians, and then the terrorists that came also claim persecution to Muslims, but they're saying that terrorists are terrorists and Muslims are Muslims, which is absolutely a fact. Okay, but anyways, so that's the argument to allow, because the United States had the front, like, okay, well, you guys are clearly Muslim. Why would the issue be between Muslims? And so, so they were like, well, they're also victims. It's not like these are terrorist groups. So they allowed, Muslim refugees into this country, and so they followed us in here, and they said, well, we're the minority in this country, and being that we're providing or bringing over assets into this country, and we're helping build, we're contributing to the building of this economy, yada, yada, yada. And the persecutions of Muslims due to the stereotype of terrorists being Muslims, or generalization of Muslims being terrorists or whatever. So to say, and want to make sure the U.S. isn't favoritizing the Christians to entitle themselves to more shares of assets that came from the Middle East, and then and that they won't favor them and help them to make more money to take over, whatever it is, so that the negotiations are between the United States and Christians, which honestly, to these terrorists, Muslims and Christians they're one and the same. The thing is that they don't want, they created that narrative so that their families can remain in control of the Middle East and whatever they have. And I, to be completely honest, they've been abusing me for so long, so I don't know diddly squat about politics, about anything. So I'm gathering as they're abusing me. So it's like, I know very, like, the bare surface, if that, and it's like I know it in layman terms, and I couldn't tell you who's who or none of that. I don't know any of that. So and then they're playing with my head to make me look illiterate, like I can't pick up quickly. They're playing with my head. I know for my dad was a general practitioner, a surgeon, rehab medicine, and he was an OB. My mom is a physician's assistant. Could have easily been a general practitioner. My sister is in med school. I have another sister that's an attorney. I have a cousin that's an attorney. I have, my family is like dripping entrepreneurs. So, or doctorate degrees, so of some sort, and still entrepreneurs. They're suffocating me. Anyways, with that said, and there's no schizophrenia doesn't run in my family, and neither does diabetes, neither does cancer, neither does anything. But anyways, so what was I saying? 33 minutes went by. I do this every fucking day. I want them sentenced to death so damn badly. I'm done talking. So I was telling the counselor. Now I'm going back to when I dialed 988, and I was like, listen, at times I think that the only way to protect my daughter from these terrorists, and I know I sound crazy, I know I sound like I'm on drugs, you can test me, you can do whatever, and which is why these terrorists I've never been incarcerated. They want to make those claims against me so desperately, but it's not my nature, and so they know that I haven't, so it's obvious. Why would the cops come? Despite the fact that they make me look like it. So, but the cops, they could have easily came here, drug test me, and they can what is it called when they take you in? I forgot. But anyways, so with that said, I was telling her, they're in my head, they have control, but they're talking, they don't have, obviously they're not to the intellect of having the ability to hack into someone's mind, and they're talking, so there must be records involved, and then at the same time there must be other terrorists involved that are there where they cross link, or they're there are somewhat discrepancies or possible gray areas in the records, and they want to make sure in regards to if whether they get sentenced or they get found out and sentenced, or they're being monetarily compensated. Everyone is done so based on whatever it is that they've trafficked or laundered or whatever. Yeah, so they wanted to the right terrorist group to be they want to God, I was just saying it in my head, their designated accounts for their whatever the fuck it is they're doing. That's what I've gathered. Okay, and they're talking in my head, and I was crying. Well, they're playing with my head, and then my daughter. Anyways, I was telling the lady today, I don't owe them money. I don't know them, and they're talking in my head. So there are records involved. There's this involved. There's that involved, and it's almost like they have no choice but to sentence me. Like it's almost as if I am a name in their investigation that they've made claims against. And they're, in order to complete the investigation and take ownership over all the records, they have to have particular reason as to why they need mine specifically. And but there. Anyways, it's like there's laws governing it, saying that that if in fact the United States funded anything for me, please bear with me because they're playing with my head. I want them to fucking get sentenced to death so badly. If the United States at all funded their housing, if they have any legal or medical or medical interest in the records, then in fact they can't either delete them or own them or whatever the case may be, because it sounds like they take these records and they kind of throw them in categories. And I think what the United States government's been trying to do is they're collecting as many records as possible so that they can start to put together the puzzle of which terrorist groups are responsible for which crimes, so that they can all be convicted for damn sure, and the ownership of the true owners of whatever it is that these terrorists stole go back to its original owner, whether it be intellectual property, it be monetary, whatever the case is. So and then any damages done, of course, the United States holds interest in those in whatever's left over. And so I was crying to her and I was like, why don't do drugs? I don't know. And they're controlling my mind and they don't have any access. And basically they're saying they're going to get sentenced to death and their kids are going to get thrown out on the streets. And who's going to want to do anything with them? And basically when they become of age, if they do inherit any of their money, then they're also they've also been named terrorists and now are a part of the organization and also will be convicted, or whatever the narrative they keep saying. And basically, the crimes that they have committed are so heinous, which they are. They're talking in my head, retarding me, causing me. It's just I have stuttering. I can't remember anything. I can't communicate anything. It's just jumbled thoughts and slow to communicate what I'm trying to say, and just a whole lot of shit. Injuries to my mind. So I was telling her they have said that they're gonna attack my daughter's mind using the same telepathy weapon, and the only way to provide that in fact they're terrorists means I have literally go and explain that they are attempting to force suicide on me, and create a record behind it, and then I actually have to eventually kill myself, because if I put them in a position where their kids have absolutely no chance at making it, then it's like they're like, then everybody's gonna fucking die. That's all they keep saying. And I was just bawling my eyes out today about it, telling her, like, I genuinely have thought that I need to rip the Band-Aid off so my daughter, who has been crying and hurt over this, to finally allow her that morning to mourn me, and to eventually start to find peace and to move forward, because then the terrorists in my head will be convicted for murder, because they're murdering me. They're telling me to kill myself every fucking day. They're talking in my fucking head, and they want to make claims that I was being assaulted by people outside when it was them. I want them in fucking caskets. I want them sentenced to fucking death. They live in California. I hate them with a fucking passion. My daughter hears me crying and screaming every day. They have caused me injury after injury. I went in and did a liposuction and fat transfer. I'm out of my mind, so don't ask me why you would have schizophrenia and do that. I'm out of my mind, okay? I did it like a crazy person. And then, of course, they ruined the results. So it looked deformed. So I would go back to the doctor, and the doctor was like, well, I told you you needed to do a tummy tuck. There was a woman who was exactly my size and flat as a board, and all he had to do was liposuction. And so I was like, dude, you've done this before. There's no way. And he charged me another like $10K. Plus I had to get a room and a nurse, and I had to fly out to Florida, and it like came out to like almost 15-20K. On top of the liposuction I already did. They kept making me swell, and they're doing it now, and they're doing it with the tummy tuck. Look at this. Fuck talking about the bullshit. I've been wearing my garments, but they suffocate me, so I can't wear them. I gotta be very careful because he tries to turn it off. But see that right here? This pouch is them, because they want this line stretched, and they want so desperately to ruin the results of my and they're like, why the fuck are you even trying to look good? My hair was gorgeous, and it all fell out. You don't understand the tears I've cried. I want them to fucking die. I want them sentenced to fucking death in front of everyone. They are Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. I hate them with a fucking passion. I cannot fucking hold it in anymore. She keeps saying, fuck you, whore, in my fucking head. Fuck that stupid bitch. Fucking whore. I'm going straight to every medical professional to tell them the goddamn truth. These bitches keep saying they're gonna murder my daughter in my fucking head. They're Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists. I want them because they're gonna face the death penalty, and they don't. That's all because I'm being so blatantly honest about them murdering me. And look what they're doing to my face. Like, look at this. Oh my gosh! If you saw pictures of me before, every day all they want to do is they want to abuse me. So, oh, by the way, I fixed my mirror. You've been watching. They had me punching the mirror. I broke 2 or 3 mirrors because of like this bad energy, and it just like starts to build up, and I can't help it. I have to scream. I have to hit something, and he's like, "I'm gonna make you fucking pay, you stupid bitch. I'm gonna make you fucking pay, you stupid bitch." They wanted to break my car. Now I don't listen to music because they're talking in my head. And it's like, so they can't stop talking. So their way of trying to get me to drown them out is to get more aggressive with the talking and the attacks. And in which case, I'm just like, I'm at the point, I'm like, okay, if you're talking and you know you can't, there are laws clearly governing over it, then I don't need background noise. I don't need shit. I want to hear them loud and clear in my head. I don't want them going to say anything at all. Plus, like, if they have to turn in these records and God forbid, I get in a car accident and they're to say, oh, she was listening to music and she was irresponsible, and oh, she was on phentermine, she was, claiming she was trying to lose weight, but the piece of shit instead is like sleep deprived, and also again, because of them, and they want me to play music in the middle of the night. They want to irk my neighbors or have me leave so that I don't bother them, and it's like they're so fucking trashy. I want them sentenced to death, and if it wasn't for, like, I think the men would have gladly went to get sentenced to death, but it's that the U.S. government is also claiming that the women need to be convicted just as much as the men because they are spending the money, and I believe they were behind the weapon, also committing some serious, like, the crimes that they have said they've committed with these weapons is like, you wouldn't even believe me. Like walking someone like a puppet, forcing, like, and then and that person will pick up a gun and shoot their girlfriend and their son who was under the bed, and then have that gentleman call the cops, tell him, and then have him convicted to 25 to life after he just murdered them. But they're the ones controlling his mind using a telepathy weapon. That's what they're saying in my head. And I keep watching certain things, and I'm like, the reaction of the people after the fact, it's like, and then it's like, these bitches are so disgusting. Like, they want that person to, after taking control and basically turning him into that to their little puppet or robot, to really pour salt into that wound, all of a sudden, like, they're conscious again, and they're playing with my head. I'm not illiterate. Like, I mean, I'm not illiterate. I don't even know why I would doubt myself. I'm not illiterate, but they're playing with my head. But I'm conscious to that degree that that when he becomes conscious, they realize what's happening, and it's like they're reliving that experience, and of course it's trauma, and the way they cry, and they cry and they cry and they cry, and it's like, I don't know what to believe. Like, my reality feels so fucking weirded out. Like, because I'm like, oh my god, they're kids, and then they're telling me they're in my head and they're gonna abuse my daughter. And I'm telling the woman today, I mean, I have thought about it. Like, how would I go? What would I do? How rip the band-aid off and allow my kids to move on? Because I know for a fact who would protect my kids with all their life. I swear, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I know for a fact there are angels surrounding these celebrities of Hollywood. Beyonce, Jay-Z, I mean, the entire Obama administration. And I know for a fact that based on like what I've gathered, that they've been after clearing the records and clearing the name of so many of the victims of these attacks using these telepathy technologies, that they would do anything at this point if I were to make it so clear. And I'm not to make and being that I'm not petty, my priority is Australia, and just knowing that my kids come first to me, I know that they would care for them as much as I do. I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like they would protect them, like they would protect their own. Is that not crazy? Because it's just, these bitches have been sitting here like, you're so fucking ugly, and then I'm sitting here, and not to blame people or say that they're less than, but people are so broken that they actually believe these terrorists talking in their head, and will run around sleeping around and doing drugs because the terrorists in their head are like, oh, you look like you're addicted to whatever opiates, but they're burning them with a microwave weapon. And some of these people that I've seen online, these targeted individuals, literally have burn marks and go in, and the doctors, of course, they don't know what's going on because these are classified investigations and quote unquote classified technologies. I don't think that's the case. I think we've been so oppressed that by different terrorist groups with the intention of keeping people oppressed so that they don't meet financial status to operate these technologies. So that's me. But so moving on, I've been doing this for an hour. The stupid bitch in my head just blew me because they're so fucking mad that I'm done talking. I fucking want to sentence them to death, and I don't give a shit who knows it. What was I saying? The classified weapons. Anyway, so they've been after them for so long to clear the name of their victims, and being that I don't owe these terrorists anything, I don't know them, we don't run in the same circles, and if in fact, let's say there was, let's say, a crime committed, and one of these terrorists were to ever encounter me publicly, then all of a sudden they would be a part of the United States. It would entitle the United States to investigate them, so they refrain from encountering me at all costs. So I have never encountered them. I don't know who they are. And I just keep thinking, like, well, if you're talking in my head, like, no one's twisting your arm to talk in my head. Are they? And for what? And what is it that you need? And why is it that it's it's imperative that you you try and frame me and defame me and force, like, murder me when no one even knows what's going on. Why don't you just fuck off? And I still nothing.